Okay, I've taken it out and I've just rolled it over. So this is the forward part facing up by the board, and then that's the back pan here. Yep, wet. All of this is pretty well soaked. Yep, that's all wet. Now keep in mind, like, this is towards the this is up against the center cluster. So yeah, there's moisture here. Now some folks, there's a drain in there for the AC condenser that typically causes, if that's not if it's clogged or whatever, it'll cause pooling here. But yeah, that's all wet. And if it's too persistent, well, people will notice that the back gets wet too. Fortunately, thank God, this one is not that way. I have this is a 2013 Volt. This 2015 Volt here had the AC issue, and what that AC condenser issue is this rubber hose right here that's attached to the underside. This is the condense collection, and it spouts out, and they put it just kind of dripping out on the other side. There's like a grommet on the other side here. I have a separate fix for that. Using some tubing, stuck it in the other side, siliconed it up so it has a firmer hold, and haven't had that issue with any kind of moisture collection in the 2015. So I went ahead and did the same thing to this car as well, but we still got this issue with the daggum moisture. I mean, you can see there's still just moisture beads down and through all of this. So only downs, and what I've seen is water tends to kind of come down and collect. Pull this padding up here. You can kind of see there's well, I can see, I don't know if the lighting does anything right, but yeah, it's moisture right here. It's dribbling down through here. I did not take this padding off before because it looks like it would be a pain in the butt, but I'm going to dig into it because I want to get this thing resolved and only have to do this once. Okay, so feeling up and through there, it looks like this padding runs all the way across the other side of the firewall. Runs behind the whole AC cluster and such, so I don't think it's possible without deliberately cutting it or anything to get this thing out any more than this. So what I've done is I'm just kind of keeping it propped up on that side over here to get it up and past this harness. There's 2 pegs on the harness. I went ahead and used the trusty plastic peg pry tool to get those out of the way so we can keep that flat. Now, and starting to get some lovely spots of mildew and mold in here. So fortunately I have a steamer. I will take care of all of that, get that cleaned up. Okay, so what I've done is I've mixed up some 6 drops of red food dye and some water here, and I have a baster, and what I want to do is I want to baste in specific areas. I'm going to start out low down here, and I want to go ahead and put some of the red water down there, give it a couple minutes and see if we see red water flowing through in there, so we can kind of track down exactly what portion of this seam is jacked up. All right, so I'm already leaking a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and apply it in this area here first, because this is the low spot, and see what happens. Also, it couldn't hurt just to make sure things are draining. Shoot a little bit down there. We should see. Oh, let's see. Down on the underside. that should be a red puddle. All right, so grabbed a shop towel. This car is not easy to get under if you are red. Shows up real nice. All right. So we know that the drain's working. That's lovely. And so now I'm gonna sit in here and wait for some of the red. Yeah, the red food dye really shows up really well on white, paper towels, shop towels and such. So I highly recommend using it. I tucked one of the white paper towels up there, and I've just kind of been pressing it down and around, but see no signs of any red yet. So I'm going to go ahead and shift to another spot under the cowl. I was told that, well, on Reddit, some other folks were pointing out the suspect area here. They were suspecting that there was something about the seam right there. Stuff was running under. But what I think is probably just going to be best is I'm going to keep working up higher. Since that's the low point, I'm going to start working up higher on that side and then higher on this side over here, and see if we start seeing it drip through. All right, so I just applied some of it along here and up along the top and bottom sides of this seam. You see we got a fair bit of a pooling, but yeah, just poured it along those seams there, and that is fell down by itself, but you see that? Ha. Red. It is red, and yeah, this is where it's coming from. And look at that, it's actually dripping off I can feel it. It's dripping off of the padding up here. I'm gonna tap that up. Yep, that's it. That's where the leak's coming from. So now we know what area needs to be sealed up again. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and dry all this up, and so I'm gonna start removing the seam sealer from that point. Heck, from that point all the way down to that point, as well. Get rid of that bead right there, because that is definitely where this is coming from.